Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest on Twitter is called their favorite guest on our show, in the history of our show. Darrell Hammond. Darrell Hammond is their favorite guest, it's been said. What's up, buddy?
Did I already break an FCC law a second ago?
That's fine with me.
Well, I met some guys, some people today a little while ago, and real nice guys, and it reminds me of when I found I didn't know they were actual Seahawks fans, which is fine.
Right.
It was a great football team. But it reminds me, the only thing I can relate it to is the tranny and the car thief. Can I just tell you that really fast?
Go ahead, yeah.
Well, I used to know this guy who said he was the best car thief on Long Island, and his girlfriend was this super hot chick from Colombia.
Right.
And then one day I went up to him and I was like, "Yo, man, you guys are a really nice couple." He's like, "Yeah, but Darrell, she's got a penis." I said, "Well, I mean, I maybe that's okay." And he's like, "Yeah, the first few months I dated her, she wouldn't let me touch her down there. Then when I found out she had a penis, it was too late. I already loved her."
Oh, Lord.
That's how I found about
Wait, so that's how you feel
my new friends from the Seahawks. I was like, "Whoa, you guys are good guys."
That's the best analogy ever.
Well, I'm rooting for Denver, and I was like, "Well, you guys are actually really nice guys, though."
I'm rooting for, you know what? I'm rooting for Denver too, but I think, see, if I was still a gambling man, I think Seattle's defense might take it. But I met Peyton a couple of times, and he was a nice guy, and I don't know. I hope he gets a couple of rings. But Seattle is going to be tough to beat, man.
Those guys are from the future.
Yeah.
That's that defense there. And I told him, I go, "You guys are unkind. You're really not nice. Be nice to my man, Peyton."
What do you think of the Richard Sherman thing when you saw that? What did you think?
I think he was in the zone.
He was in the zone. Is what he was. Absolutely.
He was in the sting of battle.
Yeah.
Those guys talked to each other like that out there, and he was just right at it. That's what I think. Right. I think he's probably a gentleman and quite literally a scholar, and he was still in. Hello? He was still in the game.
Yeah. No, right, exactly. I mean, the game, that's the problem with those sideline interviews. The game literally was 10 seconds before.
Right. But don't you guys talk like that all the time to each other?
I don't know. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And especially Richard Sherman. I mean, that's a big part of his game. Not only talking to the other people, trying to get into their heads, the guys on the other team, but he's talking to his secondary members every play, basically yelling out tendencies and formations, and they kind of lean on him for information at all times. And that's part of what makes him so great.
He's the leader of the defense then?
Sort of secondary.
Captain of the defense. Okay, the secondary.
I mean, I don't know about the defense. They got some. Maybe. I mean, he's the most vocal, obviously. Yeah. And just I'm gleaning this knowledge just from watching some preseason stuff, like training camp stuff, where he was just basically telling the camera guy, telling his teammates exactly what routes were going to be run based on, formation.
So he runs. He's the head of the captain of the defense.
I don't know.
It sounds like he's that. Well, at least the secondary.
He's very vocal and really smart.
Really
sharp.
How into football are you, Darrell? Where are you watching the game Sunday? You got plans, or it's just wherever?
No, I don't actually. Yeah. What about you?
We're going to DirecTV. My bosses are great. They got me tickets. They give me tickets every year.
Oh, you're going to go to the game?
I'm going to the game.
Yeah, I played 6 games junior varsity football as a 138-pound quarterback.
Wow.
For the Melbourne High School Junior Varsity Bullpups until I got hit by a guy who later knocked out Tony Dorsett.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
on the football field or in a bar?
No, it was one of those weird days, those scrimmages. They're like, you're a good athlete, and why don't you just try it at wideout?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, I'll try it at wideout. And, I played, my surfer buddies had hit me plenty of times.
Yeah.
And then this cat, who was a bit of a hellhound, later for Florida State and then in the NFL.
So he went to Florida State.
He hit me, and I'm like, to the coach, I'm like, I quit.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want anyone to hit me like that. Yeah. He's like,
well, that's a great decision.
Well, it is actually a great decision. He dislodged 3 vertebrae in my neck. I'm like, I
Really?
don't care if you guys hit me like my surfer pals hit me, but not like that guy.
No, but see, that's a great life because unless you're totally sure you have a really great shot at getting into the NFL and making millions of dollars, becoming famous. Okay, then you stick football out. Everyone else should stop playing. I mean, literally, everyone else, it's a good decision to go, I'm not going to do this anymore.
They had to turn me on my stomach to keep me from drowning in my own vomit.
Oh.
I'm like, I don't want this.
That's not fun at all.
That's
I mean, those coaches down there used to threaten us. They used to go, I don't think you want it. You know, one time my surfer pal goes, you know what, I really don't. I kind of don't want it. I saw that guy hit Darrell, and this is kind of not going to be my thing.
Yeah, and you're like, listen, Coach, we were talking and we decided none of us want it.
None of us want that. We don't want our vertebrae dislodged.
And we don't want to be lying on our back vomiting for no reason.
Yeah, I played quarterback, and they would trash talk me, you know, and they would say things like, nah, man, you know, how I make you feel. They used to like recite poems like, I don't know how you feel when I feel the way you keel, and I'm gonna keel. I'm like, wow, that's
Kill doesn't rhyme with feel. You're being ridiculous.
I'm like, that's cold, man. That's cold. Yeah, my friend Jimmy Underwood is like, you know, Coach, I like want to, you know, major in science at FSU. And no, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to get hit like
football is a brutal game, man.
Concussive force will sort of interfere with that. It's egregious.
It's egregious.
Well, that's what we all used, egregious.
But you played baseball too, right?
Baseball 10 months a year.
You like that better.
Yeah, it's my love.
What position did you play?
I played shortstop till I got to high school, and I played a little first base and some outfield.
Yeah, baseball is a fun game. Again, if you're great, that's the best life. To me, I'd pick baseball because it's leisurely, a nice summer, you're traveling. If you're a single guy, you're younger playing baseball.
And in Florida, Arizona, California, New Mexico, places like that, you can play your passion 10 months a year.
Right. Well, Danny Filato from Chicago over here lived with Mark Grace for a while, and I think of Mark Grace's life. He lived in Chicago, played for the Cubs, great player, a good man with the ladies, and he's walking to Wrigley Field for day games. Could you imagine that's your life? You're walking to Wrigley with like it's something out of a Norman Rockwell painting with like a bat on your head, and you walk there, take some practice, and that's what you do for a living.
Yeah, you'd be one to say, wait a minute, I get the feeling that you actually live by Wrigley Field. You don't actually live there, do you? Like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's where you live.
I pass it every day when I get the paper from my dad.
And you make millions of dollars, and you walk to Wrigley Field to play.
It's really nice.
Of course, you're living with Dan Filato. That's the one. But thank God that Dan's there because a couple of these strippers tried to take his MVP award.
Gold glove.
And we know all the stripper stories.
Tell Darrell that real quick.
What happened?
Some girl came down in the morning, and I see this large thing underneath her jacket, and all of a sudden I look on the mantle, and one of Mark's giant gold gloves is missing.
His gold glove award. She took it.
And she said,
wait, this is a stripper?
Yes. And she said, Mark said I could take it. I go,
and did you buy it? You
No.
I said, I'm calling the police if you don't bring that back.
It's not like the New Orleans hooker I lent $800 to. It's not that
Where
bad.
is she? Is she around?
No, her phone. The phone she was texting me from was disposable because she saw me coming.
There's two people who use disposable cell phones: terrorists and New Orleans strippers.
Yeah, and hookers. Yeah.
Her first name was Christy.
Yeah, I was telling my friend Kelly, you know Lee Na, the tennis player that has that strange thing for her knee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like she had two of those. I'm like, whoa.
Really?
I missed no. I'm kidding. But I mean, like French Quarter prostitute. It's kind of the same.
Now,
thing.
what did she need the $800 for? Did she have to
She
go
was
to
in the
another
flight
semester at school or something? Another semester at school or something?
She said that her sister had a baby and she wanted to help her sister with the baby.
Okay. Well, that's nice.
And that she wasn't going to be able to work as much.
Right.
And, you know, because she'd do me, would I do her solid? And, you know, and I knew like friends of her. I mean, I knew her friends.
You had references.
Yeah, I had references. I figured, you know, she wasn't calling from a disposable phone. It's like my friend Eddie's. You know, it's like I told you, my friend Eddie said, wait a minute, she's a French Quarter? Wait, she's not just a prostitute, she's a French Quarter prostitute? That's like Prostitute Hall of Fame. That's like the Metropolitan Museum of hookers.
That is.
And you lent her money. And then later you told me your adage about life.
Yeah, you know, if you give a hooker money to go and get cocaine, she will never come back with cocaine.
Yeah, she won't.
I'm still waiting.
Did you get the Gold Glove back?
He did.
Yes, I did.
All right.
He did. He got it back. Now I know in Dan he probably wrestled it from her.
I did. I grabbed it. I grabbed her jacket.
Mike said I could have it. I picture like her mascara. Like Mike said I could have it.
Yeah, and were you like dating her?
Yeah.
Were you dating her?
No.
Oh, and she was lying through her teeth?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He would tell them whatever they wanted to hear before the act. We're gonna get married.
Well, that's every man.
Right.
Wait, he would tell them that stuff?
Yes, yeah.
But he would say get married, though. He would go as far as getting married.
Well, what do you want to blame the hussy for?
So you think he's the hussy?
I just said, no, I said that. I actually said that for you, Artie. I know you would like that one.
My nickname for him was Mr. Tell It Like It Ain't.
Oh, really?
He'll tell whatever.
In a way, he's kind of set himself up.
Yeah.
So do you think it's true that he actually, to get sex?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
You
absolutely.
could have one of my Gold Gloves?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So she really was in the right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
The People's Court would side with her.
So she didn't have like a disposable phone and work in the French Court?
You know, I didn't check that. I didn't go through. She didn't make it through the TSA.
But you know you're a good friend because once you got out the door at that, you ain't seeing that Gold Glove again. You ain't seeing that Gold Glove again.
Yeah.
That would have been sold for meth in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Some White Sox player would have had it on his mantle.
Some hussy.
I wonder where that glove is now, and if he's used that technique again.
Yeah, I'm sure he's used it since. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Why not?
It's probably in Guatemala. You know, and a chicken el pollo hermanos.
Where did the Secret Service have their problems? I gotta assume that maybe Mark probably did too.
How did the guy say that he was already in love with the girl after he found the
Oh, he's like, by the time I knew she had a penis, it was too late. Wait, I have to do the hands. It's like he did because he would do this. He would go, "I'm the best coffee from Long Island." I don't care what nobody says. The best on Long Island. So he said to me, by the time I found out she had a penis, it was too late. I already loved her. You think that's funny?
I think that's funny. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I've never actually told that on stage.
I think that's funny.
Yeah. I already loved her.
I'm going to repeat that story to the rest of my life.
By the time I found out they were in PR for the Seahawks, it was too late. I already liked them.
You already liked them as friends.
They were already my friends.
I love that story about the car thing immediately popped into your head.
You know.
Oh my God, that's
some. I've gone through some neurological activity. Maybe some others have not.
Edison's medicine.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, does that ever happen to you? I know you've been to a lot of hookers. Have you ever loaned them money?
No.
I don't believe that.
No. I didn't have much money to give them.
No, I'm saying you might have given them a couple of dollars. Whatever you got.
That's why I paid for them a few dollars.
Those
like $10
weather reports were, yeah.
Mike, did you ever fall in love with one?
Did you love that?
Fall in love with one and then find out she had a penis?
No.
Never?
I got to inspect the.
I bet a lot of the girls fell in love with him until they found out he had a penis. He looks like a bit of a lesbian.
I know.
You do look like a lesbian, Mike.
I keep repeating. I look like Michael Moore.
Doesn't he look like a lesbian? Well, Michael Moore looks like a lesbian.
You know, how do you think of arithmetically perfect jokes? Like you and Gilbert Gottfried will actually, it'll be like mathematically perfect jokes. It's like, you ever, like Rodney Dangerfield used to have these mathematically perfect jokes. My sex life. How do you shoot pool with a rope? I mean, you guys write great jokes.
Thank you. What are you? So I got to ask you now. We had the craziest experience. This never happened to me before. I did a gig with Darrell, and I was going to tell stories from my book, and I really got emotional to the point where I thought I was going to get away with telling a story about my dad on stage from my book, and I bailed. And I couldn't tell the story. And I was looking out there going, I don't know if I could do this right now. And it was a real surreal experience. And then you got on stage and you did. I mean, I really applaud what you're trying to do with this show. And I can't wait to see it.
Well, we moved as a result of your appearance and drawing the crowd in, which I owe you a solid because we're going to move forward with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, so you're going to get serious and get real, into telling stories from the book. That's a hard thing to do, man. That was very difficult.
Well, I just got offered another play, and I kind of don't want to be myself. I actually don't want to play me. I mean, if they could do it, that someone else
When
would.
you say play, though, do you mean like a one-man thing or?
Either one.
Oh, yeah?
A famous writer wrote a play that's got a cast, and that's all I can say about that.
Okay,
And then there's
yeah.
other formats that have been offered my way, and I don't know how comfortable I am with that.
It's hard, man. It's hard, but
We'll see what you went through. Now you're going to do that 8 times a week?
yeah, no, you're right. It's emotionally, you got to really be prepared. And on a Wednesday night, a few weeks in, when you got indigestion or something, you got to really make it go there.
Yeah.
It's emotional. you know?
Yes, yeah, and you did a big thing for me, and I'm your late night guest whenever someone bails out.
Well, listen, I can't wait to see whatever you turn that into, man. That's going to be fascinating.
Well, I'm gonna let the big people do it. you
Right.
know? I don't know how to do it.
Well, we're going to take a break. Your friend Kelly's here.
Yeah.
Hot chick sports expert. Kelly
Yeah.
Olin is coming on. I don't trust her over there by the Seattle guys, so I want to go to break and get her over.
Oh, the Seattle guys, yeah, I know. She seems to think they're good guys too.
She had the same thing as the car thief. Same thing happened. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back and talk more with the great Darrell Hammond and Kelly after these words.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.